Hey everyone, how's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you another episode, Coffee with Coach. Hope you're up doing well, got the mind in the right place. If not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So today I want to share with you something I read that I thought was really, really good, that I think you can apply to everything that you do in life and will be really helpful, all right? So the thing is the harder it is, the more you will have respect for yourself or the thing. All right. So the harder it is, the more respect you'll have for yourself or whatever the thing is that you went to go get. Okay. So give you a good example with that, like teaching jujitsu all these years, being a coach for 15 years now, having my business. Just being the person that I am, the kind of coach that I am, I'm different than a lot of them in the sense that I have a very, even though I've never been in the military, I have a very militant type of coaching style. Like it's a no nonsense, don't play around, like just, hard work, hard work ethic, good work ethic, working type, gritty atmosphere when it comes to the training. And when you go through the ranks in jiu-jitsu and you get even that first stripe, okay, as you're like, say you're a white belt and you get that first, after the first 4 months or so or whatever, and you get that first stripe on your belt, you've gone through a lot to get that first stripe. Like you've gone through, you just been getting beat up basically. Like, you just been getting smashed. You don't know anything. You're trying to get a hold of the information that you're learning in the technique portion of the class, and then you're trying to apply it while someone's putting pressure on you and attacking you and your timing's off, and everything is just not going the way you want it to go just yet. And then it's like that throughout the rest of your jiu-jitsu journey. Like it's never like it never really gets easier. You just get better like at doing things. You don't get tapped out as much. You're still going to get your guard pass, mounted, back take, get tapped, everything like that. You're going to have ups and downs, peaks and valleys. You're going to think your jiu-jitsu sucks when it really doesn't. And then when you get that first belt, that blue belt or whatever belt, you know, you'll have more respect for it, or the amount of respect that you will have for it will be great because of all the things that you had to go through to get it. But let's say I'm not as militant, I'm not as tough, hard-nosed type of coach, and I don't really, like one of the things that I do a lot with my students is like if I see someone that's trying to roll with someone that they know they can beat, and that's okay. I mean, you got to have some sometimes you just matched up the way it is. Like you just might, depending on who's in class or whatever, you might have like a little bit lighter round, so to speak, an easier roll. But that shouldn't be all your rolls. And if I feel like that's what you're trying to do, then I'm going to rotate you into a more harder roll because you are going to feel better because of that. At the moment, you won't, okay? During the training, you won't. You're going to be like, that sucks. And I'm sure inside some students' minds, they're cussing me out, whatever. But afterwards, the fulfillment is much better because, like, it was harder. It was tougher, okay? And so when it's the opposite, when it's easy and you didn't really have to try that hard, then there's really no respect for that. Like that's anything in life. Like whatever just came real easy for you, like the respect factor just isn't there. But if you really had to bust your butt and you really had to like study and grind and like really work overtime for it to get better at something, whatever the thing is, you're just going to have a lot more respect for it because you had to really earn that, okay? And so that's where my mindset is at with my coaching style and the way I do things with my students. Like, I want them to understand, or not understand, but I want them to feel that. Like when that new stripe goes around their belt, okay, or that new belt goes around their waist, like the sense of pride, as like a proud moment of like, you know what, like the things that I had to go through, the things that this guy put me through, or the things that my teammates put me through to get this one stripe or this second stripe or this belt was so hard that you just even that first stripe, you just feel like it's just like the biggest thing in the world to you because of all the things you had to go through. And I'd say that with all the times, like with our kids in the kids class, I'll tell the parents, because sometimes the parents, I would hear comments in the past like, oh, it's just a piece of tape that they're putting around the kid's belt. Or maybe a kid made a comment because they just don't know any better, like, oh, it's just a piece of tape. It's not just a piece of tape. What that piece of tape signifies is all the crap that you had to go through to get that. And at least in my program, at least in my academy, like it's not easy to get that, okay? And that's why sometimes when I have some students that like every now and then, it's not normal, but every now and then you have those couple students or whatever that want to dodge promotions and they don't want to go up in rank. And it's like, I push even harder because unless they quit, okay, you got two options. Either stay in the program and work through it, or just run you out of there and you just quit and go do something else, and you'll probably quit that and go do something else, and you'll probably quit that and you keep quitting because that's who you are as a quitter. But when it just gets hard and it's just hard for you to do, the amount of respect that you have for what you earned is just a great thing. It's a great thing. And a lot of people overlook that. They're just thinking about how hard it is, and they're not thinking about what's on the other side of that hard. What's on the other side of just that tough, whatever thing it is that you're going through. When you get through it, the amount of self-accomplishment, the amount of what it's priceless. It is literally priceless. Like you can't put a price on that. There's just the return on investment of going through something hard to get the thing that you're trying to get. Or in some cases, like my students that want to kind of quit and don't want to, like they want to stay at the same belt rank, but I'm pushing them to go to the next belt rank because I know them better than themselves. Like I want them to be better than themselves want to be better. So I push them. And when that belt does go around their waist, or that piece of tape goes over their belt, the amount of accomplishment on the inside is great because they had to really work through that. And so, at least for me, that's how I feel. That's how I coach. Like so like I have a lot of students. And in the beginning, I didn't. In the beginning, when I first started, you only have a few students. Your school isn't that big. You have to roll with everyone. Okay. When I was coming up as a blue belt, white blue belt, purple belt, we did have a lot of students. School I wouldn't say was small, but there was a lot of big guys. There really wasn't a lot of guys my size. So I had to always roll with guys, that were a lot bigger than me, whatever. And then when I had my own school and I opened up the school, like you're starting off from scratch. You don't have anyone. And so you have to like build that team up. So you're rolling with everyone. But now the school's so big. I got so many guys my size and so many different belt ranks my size. And there's guys, ladies for everyone. And so for me, when I train, I want the hardest rounds. Like I'm looking for the students that are the toughest, the ones that give me the hardest time. Because why? I just feel better after those rounds versus if I was to roll with someone that I know that I can basically have my eyes closed. And no disrespect to anyone like that. It's just their technique level isn't there yet. It's going to get there. It's just not there yet. And they don't understand the game yet and how to score points and how to, stop this and that and break grips and just do whatever it is to give me a hard time. They just don't know it yet. Okay. They're on their way. So if I was to roll with everyone like that, I don't really sweat that hard. I'm not really trying that hard. I didn't really get put in bad positions. I really didn't get like stuck in anything or get frustrated with anything. So there's no sense of like, oh man, what a great class. It's just like, yeah, I got some training in, And again, there's no disrespect to anyone if I was to do anything like that, because I have students like that they're just not there yet. But the ones that I do have and they do show up, okay, I want you, and you, okay, because we do 4 rounds, sometimes 5, but mainly it's 4. And I want those 4 rounds, because I want the work. I want to feel good after my training. I want to feel good after class. Like, man, take that shower, get done, get something healthy to eat afterwards, rehydrate, and be like, man, that was awesome. That's the way I work. That's the way my brain works. That's the way my body works. That's just how I do things. And you got some people that I know that want it the other way. Okay, they want it win all the rounds, They really don't want to train that hard. They want to feel good, go home, tell their wives or whoever, like how they kicked everyone's butt in the class today. I've had students like that. I don't really have any students like that right now, but I've had them in the past. We're like, okay, I see you. I see you. I see what you're trying to do. Like, you just want to be alpha male, whatever. You think you're the stuff. And whenever you roll with someone, you get tapped. You cry, you know, you complain. Why I got to roll with him? Why I got to do this? Why I gotta, like, those guys suck. And I've had people like that in the past. And they're really hard to work with. And it's like, okay, I see how you do things because you just want everything easy, you know. And I want the opposite. Like, I want the harder, tougher rounds, the ones that are just gonna give me the struggle, because that's where the growth is at. Okay. And once you understand that, then everything starts to get better. Then you actually start to progress and grow. Versus the other way, if it's not hard, the respect really isn't there. If you got something that you accomplished and it really wasn't a lot of work for you, you just can't have a lot of respect for that. And then you didn't really have to really try that hard to earn it. But if you really had to work at something, you really had to struggle through something, really had to battle a teammate for a sweep or a guard pass or get a submission, and maybe it's someone that you've lost to quite a bit, and now you're starting to catch up to them, and now you finally catch them. There's a good sense of accomplishment there, because like, hey, I've had to go through all this stuff to finally get to this point. And when you get to that point, it feels great. And then what happens after that? Like, oh, hey, well, I want to see how much further I can go. Okay. So I'm always battling that with students, their mindsets and how they think. I got a lot of students, they want to smoke. And we just use that phrase. Like, you know, they want to smoke. They want the tougher, harder teammates. They want the harder rounds because they know the benefits of that. And then you got the other students, like, they're looking around trying to find the easier, softer, weaker teammates that aren't as good, haven't been there as long, don't know as much, because they're just going to try to feel good about themselves in that sense. But you really can't. It's just a fake thing that's inside your heart and inside your mind, that if you really didn't have to try that hard, there's really no respect for that. You know, and your peers see that, people see that, your coach sees that, your teammates see that. So you got to be careful about that. So whatever it is that's hard for you to do, you know, you'll have more respect for yourself, and you'll have more respect for that thing that you got. And I think in the world that we live in today, you know, it's very hard for anyone to disagree with this, there's a lot of soft people, a lot of soft mindsets, a lot of soft, like, they don't want it hard. They want it easy, you know. And you just can't respect individuals like that. And you can't respect, and those individuals can't even really respect themselves that much, because they're not really trying that hard. But I want it hard. I want it to be tough. Life is tough. Everything around you is tough. It's never going to get easier. There's always going to be a problem. You're always going to have to find a solution to things. So just keep it tough. Just keep it hard. It's just what it is. It's just the way it's always going to be. And you're just a better individual because of that. And then you respect yourself, which is the main thing, which is you respect yourself more because of all the things that you've had to go through, and you made it, and you're still here. And that's why you have the respect for yourself. That's why I say the things I say. That's why I look at myself the way I look at myself, because I've put myself, I've tournament-wise gone and won all the major tournaments at IBJJF, fought all the best, not all, but it's kind of hard to fight all of them, but there's so many good guys out there all over the world that I fought, competed against, beat some, lost some against some, like, testing myself in all kind of ways. Like, it's just, I just know that's the way it should be. All right. And I'm a better person and individual because of that. And so once you understand that concept, like I said, it doesn't get easier. You just get better at how you handle things and stuff like that. So the harder it is, the more respect you'll have for yourself and the thing that you're trying to accomplish. All right. So don't try to look for the easy route, easy way. Look for the tougher teammates. Look for the tougher thing. You know, man, I didn't even want to go running today. It's just, I took my dogs for a walk. It's like really humid and hot, and the sun came out. And I'm running behind. I was kind of trying to talk myself out of it. And I'm like, I can't do that. I got to go get these 3 miles in and get it done. Now I'm going to go train. So catch you guys on the next one. Have a great day.